They are looking forward to seeing the mighty Giants. St Helens, of course, they realised that they were just taken apart in the opening round at Langtree Park. I have never seen a Giants outfit that controlled the game for the full 80 minutes as well as they did against St Helens. He was in the thick of it, and so was this guy, Paul Wellens. He'll be happy to return, and I'm sure his coach, Nathan Brown, will do that. And I'm sure that Saints realise that Huddersfield would try to use those same tactics that they did in round one and completely block out anything that St Helens threw at them that night.
Richard Silverwood, complete with the ref cam, ready to blow the whistle, and Danny Brough ready to get this game underway. Eagerly anticipated. Here we go, summer has arrived, Monday night Super Leagues have arrived, and Saints, of course, in the first match just 2 weeks ago were magnificent, but so too was that chase from the Huddersfield kickoff.
And not surprising, leading the way, Brett Ferris. He's had a tremendous season so far as Ferris, and you could tell from that first bunch of tackles there, the defence, they know how important it is.
Saints with the first use of the football, and that's Lance O'Hire, who is acting at dummy half. They have Jordan Turner and on loan from Warrington, Gareth O'Brien operating at standoff and scrum half tonight. O'Hire in his international position for the Kiwis. This is the last tackle for Saints, this opening set of 6. Jordan Turner with the kicking responsibility. Not a bad kick either to the right-hand side, fielded though on the full by Scott Grix.
And you could tell straight away that St Helens, who are in their own half, that means that they are controlling things, the Giants, right from the first set of 6.
Outside the 8, the Saints, with more than half of the season gone. They haven't looked as mediocre in the summer era previously, but it's now when the business really starts, and this is where Old Trafford comes into view, of course. Melly is back in the side after suspension. Francis Melly. And high shot on Craig Hall in the cup defeat against Hull Kingston Rovers, remember.
I'm just saying, Eddie, you could see there that Danny Brough and the tactics are equal as they went on the third tackle. They could see that Melly was just out of position slightly. And the object is exactly to just keep Saints in their own half.
That's Gareth O'Brien, first touch in the St Helens jersey for the number 37 on a month's loan from Warrington. He arrived on Thursday, straight in to the lineup here tonight. This is Tony Pulatua.
Such an important facet there for St Helens. They know that Pulatua can get the offload when he can drag 2, sometimes 3 would-be defenders. Here's a high kick.
Another kick down this right-hand side from Jordan Turner. And easily fielded in the end.
Eddie, I've been watching the big fellas for Saints. They've got a big job. Soliola, Pulatua, Louis McCarthy, Scarswood, John Wilkin, you see in your picture there playing in the back row. They've got a big job. When we watch the Magic Weekend and we watch the performance Huddersfield put in against Bradford, they bulldozed the Bradford pack and gave them virtually no territory to work off. You see a good example of that from Joe Wardle, who's in the 3 quarters tonight. Soliola, Pulatua, big job for them tonight.
A big job also for the new half-back combination, yet another new half-back combination, O'Brien and Turner. The 10th different half-back combination for Saints so far this year.
Eddie, and you can almost contrast that with Huddersfield, who've almost, not quite, in every game had the full-back Grix, Robinson and Brough of halves, and Lunt as the hooker. It's been possibly the consistency that the coach has been able to select those players in that position that has helped the side to build and develop.
It's St Helens who are in possession with Willie Manu. He struggles to his feet and finds Paul Wellens. And Wellens will take the tackle from Ferguson and Crabtree. There's Paul Anderson, the Huddersfield Giants coach. Former Saints player, of course, in his day. Kieran Patel alongside him, former Saints assistant. Nathan Brown in the opposite bench. Former Huddersfield Giants coach, of course. It is a real old boys reunion here tonight. This is Soliola, and this is the final tackle, this set of 6 for the Saints. Again, it's off the boot of Jordan Turner. Again, it's targeting Grix. And oh, they suddenly disappeared and dropped away from Grix. And Grix gets up almost to the 30-metre mark before eventually Soliola and Gardner get him down.
Well, it's amazing. St Helens, they obviously feel that Griggs is a little bit of a problem. That's the second occasion they're putting under pressure with a high one, but they've got to make sure that the defence is solid. Made a good 20 metres forward. That's a great advantage for any side. Good take, good feet as well.
Ukumatai, the man who played the ball. And here comes Ferguson once again on the fourth tackle for the Huddersfield Giants. Just still 5 metres inside their own half. Crabtree will get them over halfway.
And they're quite happy, the Giants, just utilising the forwards. We haven't seen a link to the three-quarters as yet. Will he come here? No. Robinson with a kick.
Good kick as well. This will stand in the in-goal area, surely. This will have to be run back by Francis Melly. It's a great chase from Huddersfield.
Did well, did Melly. Realised that they were coming on to him, that he just went to the ground very, very quickly indeed. Took the risk of a voluntary tackle. It was okay.
You know, we watch lots of games, but I still remember, Eddie, round one, Huddersfield repeatedly turning the ball over to St Helens on or around their try line, just as we've seen there again with that kick. That territorial dominance early on helped them to establish a platform on which they really kick from.
Yes, they did. St Helens rarely out of their own half in the first half of that match. And it looks like Paul Anderson has gone back to type and has read the script from that. But here comes a break from the Saints now. This is Pulatua. Ferguson gets the ball away, but it's dropped, and Griggs will respond for the Giants.
Great tackle there from Lanto Haya that got away. Griggs, the fullback, coming through. You've got to give good respect to St Helens. They got themselves back, got the defensive line set up extremely quickly.
This is Jermaine McGilvray underneath those St Helens jerseys. Sean Lunt is waiting at dummy half. Looks for the runner. The runner was there. It was Kopjak. He couldn't quite get his hands to the ball, and in frustration he belts it over the dead ball line at the other end. Knock on against the Giants.
Yeah, the idea was good. It was a short pass, but the attention there of the loose forward, John Wilkin. Pulatua just a little bit of a panic trying to offload. I'm not so sure that Nathan Brown would like that. They want to get themselves into a good field position. They've only done that once.
And the point that you're making is when Pulatua makes that break, he chews up those 25, 30 metres. That's enough. Bank it, play the ball, and let's play again and see if we can make Huddersfield come away from their own line. Because on the last kick, Scott Griggs catches it and makes another 10, 15, 20 metres. Perhaps a little bit of a fix-up there for Pulatua and, dare I say it, the close support that he was looking for.
We caught a glimpse of Nathan Brown there. He's watching from a lower position than he has in the past 3.5 seasons. He is down almost on ground level. The Huddersfield Giants normally watch from the top level of the stand.
We just saw, I think, the referee then instructing Huddersfield that they had to have another player at the scrum. It probably should have been a penalty as St Helens pushed the halfway line. Is that normal policy that you actually tell players where to stand?
I think, well, the policy is that they'll tell them a couple of times to start with, and after that, if they're not going to get in there, they'll blow a penalty.
So St Helens here on tackle number 4 as Manu plays it to Lanso Haya. And the ball comes into centre field to Louis McCarthy Scarsbrook. It was via young Gareth O'Brien. Nathan Brown delighted that Tony Smith got on the phone to him and offered the opportunity for O'Brien to come here initially on a month's loan.
That's a great kick from Turner. Chase is good as well. That's better. Remember the last time they pushed it into that corner, Scott Griggs went 20 metres upfield.
It's solid so far. Defences of both sides. 8 minutes on the clock. 7th last year. The Huddersfield Giants in the 3 seasons under Nathan Brown. It was 3rd, 5th and 4th. There's every chance that this year they'll do even better than that. They currently stand 2nd in the table. They're 5 points behind the Wigan Warriors at the top.
It's good defence by St Helens.
And Soliola went very low then. There was a grapple tackle by the looks of things, and then Soliola coming in low to take the legs away. So dangerous.
Should have been
so
a penalty.
Dangerous.
Should have been a penalty. There's no doubt about it. Oh, that's a bad one. You very rarely see that.
And Wellens saying that's come off my head.
Well, mark that down, Steve-O. Mark that down. That is one for the scrapbook. Paul Wellens, as safe as houses. It does hit his head, but I think he might well have a fumble.
Yeah, I think there's a little bit of a touch with the fingers there. Not going to get away with it. Tried his damnedest.
He needs 13 points for 1,000 in a glittering career, does the 33-year-old St Helens fullback. And, well, that was a rare mistake from him. And Huddersfield have got the possession coming here from the scrum. They're about 16, there they are, 16, 17 metres away from the line. And Lunt fires the pass to Robinson. He finds Akumatai. And he'll take it forward to within 11, 12 metres of the line. Lunt waiting and looking both ways. Comes to the left-hand side with Brough. Brough then gets it away to Ferris. And that's another knock on by Eddie Gardner.
Well, that was going forward, surely. Well, I think he's just checking with the touch judge.
No, it's Huddersfield's head and feed.
Well, I think they've got away with it, the Giants. That looked to me as though it was drifting forward. Yep.
Lady Gardner definitely touches it, but I like what Danny Brough did there for Brett Ferris. He gave him a nice early ball, giving him one or two different options rather than taking it right to the line.
It's Luke Robinson, and he finds Akumatai once again. He's a big Tongan international, is Thai. He gets Huddersfield to within 8 metres of the line. Here is Robinson attacking the line, and he finds Brough. Brough goes wide to Aaron Murphy. Welland says forward pass. Referee and touch judges disagree. And the first try on the board for the Huddersfield Giants via Aaron Murphy, who has made rapid strides since getting into this side in round 3. He's played in the last 16 in the League and Cup, Aaron Murphy. And he's just reached double figures in Super League. That's his 10th try of the campaign.
All comes about by the error from the fullback Paul Wellens. And the kicking game from Danny Brough is proving vital yet again. It's only the second time. I thought that was forward, and lucky to not get away with it there. Saints should have had the head and feed, but either way, only the second occasion they've created the link. But it's Danny Brough. You can see there they just pulled him out. No doubt in anybody's mind, watch for Eddie Gardner. And he's been around too long as Danny Brough to realise there's an opportunity for Murphy. Fantastic final pass from Brough. Eddie Gardner in no man's land.
And Brough with the conversion attempt that just went in front of the posts. It's 4-0 to the Huddersfield Giants. And as I said, Paul Wellens was most unhappy. He claimed that was a forward pass. But the referee, well, he had other ideas. He consulted his touch judges, and the try stands to Aaron Murphy.
Well, Eddie, that pass was right on the money, and probably the kick that Danny Brough failed to convert that try. That's the only blot on his copybook in the first 11 somewhat minutes. His passing game is phenomenal. The accuracy, when he throws that pass, right to left, he knows exactly where Aaron Murphy's angle is going to be. He knows where he's going to want that pass to collect it without changing his stride. Fabulous pass.
Well, I said they've been a bit mediocre this year, the Saints. There was nothing mediocre about them in the first Monday night Super League at Leeds a fortnight ago. They won by 30 points to 22. They were 12-16 down at half-time, but they managed to do a fantastic fight back.
Oh,
Scarsbrook's down.
The big fella Earl Crabtree has used the elbow into the chest. I don't think it was high. Scarsbrook went down very quickly. He's groggy. He's trying to get himself back into position, but he doesn't know where he is.
Well, he's 115 kgs, Earl Crabtree, and when you tackle him, you know you've got to put your body on the line. He's gone down a little bit. Oh, sorry, he's gone high. I thought he'd gone down, but no, I've no problem with that. He's used the forearm just to get him away from him.
Jordan. Willie Manu it is. Spun to the ground. Lance O'Hire gets the ball away. Here's Pulatua.
So important for any defence. After you scored a try, sometimes mentally you just clock off. Can't afford to do that with St Helens, and two short passes. Looks a bit of a swinging arm as well. Was that Lunt?
Wellens to his feet, plays it to O'Hire. That's a deep kick from Lance O'Hire. And it stands in the in-goal area and then just goes over the line, touching goal. 20-metre restart.
Well, the idea was good. It just didn't get the right bounce.
You know, there might be very little between these two sides. Very strong run we're seeing there from one of the Giants, Eddie. But the kick at the end of the set completely changes the complex of a game nowadays, doesn't it? Whether that stays in, you put pressure on. Very, very often the players just fit as one of the most of them can pass and catch the ball with similar accuracy. But the kick at the end of the ball, at the end of the set, just determines how the game's going to go.
Fancying the chances down the flanks with Murphy, but that's a good tackle by Gardner. Quick play the ball though, and here goes Joe Wardle, and Wardle will have a little dash at them, halted by the tackle from Lance O'Hire.
That was great work by Wardle. He could tell that Eddie Gardner, he had to take first man on that receiver in front of the ball area. And Wardle took great advantage. Good position now.
Could have been a penalty that. The foot was raised after the referee shouted release. It's a nice little dink over the top by Danny Brough. It's been palmed back, palmed forward. Oh, could be a try here.
He'll have to go upstairs.
Could easily be a try here because I think Wardle has maybe got a hand to it here.
Well, he's certainly got his hand to it, but it depends. Has the St. Helens hand got there before? I don't think it was a knock-on. It was a beautiful weighted kick by Danny Brough.
Stuart, just clarify the fact that both players might touch down simultaneously. What happens then?
If it's a simultaneous touchdown, then the try will stand. If the player from either side touch down at the same time, then it goes with the try. So obviously the video referee is trying to see whether there's a knock-on first of all from Aaron Murphy, if the ball goes forward from his hands, and it certainly looks like it touches his hand.
But it goes backwards, doesn't it?
That's what it needs to work out, yeah, if it goes backwards. And what happens from there? It's still in the in-goal area. St. Helens player knocks it backwards.
It's not
still
a try.
Not grounded at this moment.
Now, has anyone done it? I think you'll find that Wellens grounds it, or does he take it?
He picks it up to run away because he actually, when the whistle's blown, turned around to the referee to ask why, what's up.
Well, Percival plays everybody on side because he's touched it.
Jordan Turner doesn't ground it, and I don't think neither Joe Wardle. Oh, hang on.
That looks a try.
Hang on.
That looks as though he's got downward pressure. Simultaneously, you can't say that Turner's got, because Turner's got his hand underneath the ball. This should be a try.
Well, let's hear from the expert, Stuart.
Well, it looks like at that moment in time when it stopped that Wardle's hand is on the ball, and you've got to say that the ball's on the ground. And I don't think the ball was grounded before that, so this could well be a try.
Well, that's what the video referee Ian Smith is looking at closely here.
Turner is not, instead of putting his hand on the ball, he's trying to scoop it up. He's taking the wrong option, and I think this should be given.
If Turner just touches the ball down, that would be grounded.
The try is given. The try is given to Joe Wardle. And the referee is explaining just to Jordan Turner what the decision is all about. Stuart, I asked you that question because I heard from Australia that simultaneous rule has gone in the Australian competition.
I'm unaware of that change, but the way they changed the rules in the NRL,
commentators mess.
It could be, yes. As far as I'm aware, the simultaneous grounding still stands.
Well, Ian Smith has got it spot on, and once again, Danny Brough from the outside of the boot. Turner took the wrong option. He tried to scoop it instead of getting the ball down first, and Wardle has snuck it away.
And Danny Brough has added the extras. It's 10-0 to the Huddersfield Giants. When Saints have another look at this on the DVD this week, they'll see why this try is given. There it is. This is the referee's view.
Was there an argument that Percival was tackled without the ball, Stuart?
I'd have to have a look at that one again if I was focusing on the ball at the time.
Brett Ferris goes for Percival like he's going to catch the ball, but it's very quick. There's a lot of action going on.
Well, it's all academic, the argument now, because Huddersfield have built a 10-0 advantage. And St Helens, as they had to come from behind 2 weeks ago on the first Monday Night Super League, have to do the same again. Here comes Crabtree.
And you've got to give a lot of credit for the coach, Paul Anderson. The way that the Giants have attacked this game in the opening 15 minutes, remember, they've only done 2 links to the three-quarter line. They've just utilised the forwards, sheer power to get them into a position. Also, the kicking game from Danny Brough. Remember the first round. Now then, this could lift the spirits. Roby's on.
Yes, Roby has returned. Lance O'Hire taken off after 15.5 minutes. Roby returns to the fray. He has missed the last 10. He last played on the 15th of March, and in the 10 that he's missed, Saints have lost 7 of them.
Well, if you talk about a kicking game, that's a tremendous result. From where Huddersfield kicked the ball to where they managed to make the first tackle was about 60 metres by my reckoning. We might see it again at half-time, I'm sure, with John Wells. That's totally turned it around. You trace back the problems. Lance O'Hire's kick went over the dead ball line. Further at the other end of the field, we've just seen the last try. The kicks are certainly killing Saints at the moment.
And not only that, Phil, is Danny Brough kicked on the 3rd for the 2nd time in this game. He knows how to turn a game around, and he's doing that to Saints.
O'Brien's kick is straight down the throat of Murphy. They certainly fancy their chances down this left-hand side of the Huddersfield defence, don't they?
They certainly do, and they obviously feel that the man that's jumped in a dummy half, Scott Griggs, is a little bit dodgy underneath the high ball.
Saints are caught offside now.
That won't help their cause. This will be another 30-40 metres downfield. Never made any attempt to get back, and you can't blame the official, Richard Silverwood, who said, I gave you every chance to come back to me. You failed to do it, and what a great kick that is.
And
First penalty of the game, that.
Sorry, the play of the ball is too quick for Saints at the minute. Good game plan from Paul Anderson. He's kicking on the 3rd and 4th, kicking early. And the interesting other aspect of these two teams is the way that the benches are lined up. It's a nimble, swift, explosive bench by Saints, but it's big and powerful. 3 props and a hooker for the Giants.
Here's Brett Ferris, vice-captain of the Huddersfield Giants, and in the form of his life this year. Lunt gets the ball away to Brough. He runs laterally, shows it to Crabtree, gives it then to the big man, Akumatai. And he is halted by 3 Saints jerseys 9 metres away from the line. Sean Lunt will come back into centre field. It's popped up for Crabtree! And Crabtree is almost over. He says he is over.
He's lost it.
But the ball may have been lost. And he's claiming here, I think, if it's not given, maybe a steal.
Well, it certainly was short. It was a beautiful inside interchange that got them through there. He's short here. Good positioning by Silverwood.
Stuart Cummings, what say you here?
Well, is Earl Crabtree still in possession of the ball when it goes over? The ball obviously comes out or gets to ground. Well, I think Paul Welland's every right to go at that ball. Earl Crabtree's obviously trying to get the ball down, and Paul Wellens has every right to try and defend it.
Yeah, but he's pulled it out.
But he has pulled the ball out, so it should be a penalty.
Yeah.
There's more than 2 in the tackle. It won't be a penalty try as it would have been some years ago. It should just be a penalty to Huddersfield for the ball steal.
Let's see what the video referee says. He agrees 100% with Stuart Cummings. Penalty bang in front of the sticks, 10 metres out.
And they're taking the 2.
Will Danny Brough take the 2 on offer? Yes, he will.
Now then, that is something perhaps they may rule later on. It was good work by Wellens, but he definitely pinches it.
And Steve-O, we've missed in all the drama here. Craig Kopchak receives that ball and just gives a beautiful little inside pass to Earl Crabtree. Paul Anderson gives the signal. He knows what he wants the players to do.
He wanted them to play on. He gave the dozy-do, Phil.
You thought that was bringing the player off the other day?
I did, yeah. Well, it's a different sign off the coaches.
Yeehaw! Get back in there. Get that cowboy hat off your head now.
Wellens having another word with Richard Silverwood just before this penalty is taken.
On the line, lads.
I don't think there's any doubt that Paul Wellens did steal the ball as Crabtree was trying to plonk it down. He couldn't allow him to do that, obviously. But he took the chance because there were bodies in there all over the place. So Brough from bang in front. This should be 12-0, and indeed it is. Huddersfield 12, Saints 0. The hole is getting beat deeper and deeper for St Helens and Nathan Brown.
Well, Nathan Brown has to change a few things as well. Okay, he's thrown on James Rowe, trying to just lift the spirits, but he realises that the kicking game is not good enough. If you're going to just apply the pressure, you've got to make sure that the chasers have a chance. They haven't had one chance throughout this game. You've got to give it plenty of height so that your attack can put the pressure on the man receiving it. They failed to do that.
Tommy Makinson and Stuart Howarth, who was the interim replacement for James Roby, both left out of the side tonight by Nathan Brown. I did check that out with him beforehand. There were no injuries. So it was a straight selection decision, and with Melly and Roby coming back, it's one you can perfectly understand. But at 19 minutes and 12-0 down, St Helens with a little bit of a hill to climb here.
Well, especially with the fact Makinson, you know, you're looking at Jordan Turner already that has played at standoff. It's been over 2 years, nearly 2 years since Jordan Turner has taken that position. A bit bewildering.
He's a talented player, though, Turner, and he signed a deal recently to stay with St Helens till the end of 2016.
Early kick again.
On the fourth this time.
Now then, will this skip away? Yes, it will. It'll run down.
I don't think he'll mind it, actually, and I don't think his coach Paul Anderson will either. Not many coaches in Super League are quite happy with the kick if it goes over. They know that their defence is solid. They can march up on that 30-metre line.
Yes, they've got every confidence against a forward pack that contains the likes of Pulatua, McCarthy, Scarsbrook, Soliola, Manu.
Well, it's been a great start for the Giants. Look, 100% tackle success so far. The defence has been awesome. Contrast that, Saints missed a few tackles in the first 10 or 15 minutes, started to recover, but at the moment the Giants clearly on top.
O'Brien absolutely flattened by Akumatai. Absolutely flattened, the young man.
And to be fair, he got up quickly. Danny Brougham's away. Oh, Griggs has been in a cruncher as well, and he's lost it. That's play on.
Well, it's lifted.
First knock on.
It's lifted a bit now, Steve. Oh, it just takes one shot, doesn't it? Akumatai and Gareth O'Brien. So his life flash in front of him then. He's just waiting for that short runner. And you're right, Steve. He gets right back up and thinks, right, what's next? What do I need to do? Get back in my defensive line. Big shot.
Yes, big shot, but big heart from Gareth O'Brien, no doubt about that. When he runs at you, you know he's running at you. And when he hits you, you know you've been hit.
Boy, there are times, Eddie, when you just look back as a former player and you say, I'm glad I retired.
Who's he giving head and feet to here, Stuart, and why?
He's giving it to St Helens because the first knock-on was off. Was it Griggs who lost the ball forward?
Yeah, I thought.
And the tackle that wrestled the ball away from Gareth O'Brien, he's happy that that ball went backwards, which it did. So here come the Saints. This is a rare chance to attack from inside the Giants' half of the field. Roby is there. He's back for Saints. They'll be delighted about that. There's O'Brien. Here is Wellens. Wellens then gets it away to Willie Manu. He bounces off a couple more. Brilliant pass. Gets it away there to Alex Walmsley.
He's a man, Manu, that can change the game, and he knows it.
Oh, it's a knock-on.
It's knock-on.
It's a knock-on by Alex Walmsley.
Well, it was a good offload and came through. I think there might have been an arm in here.
There's definitely hands on the ball, isn't there?
Yes, he's got away with it. He's kidded the official, Richard Silverwood.
I must say, there's a lot of conversation surrounding the referee from the players. They're asking and querying virtually every decision that Richard Silverwood is making.
Has that changed in 20 years, though?
I don't think so. I think, you know, the game's quite close, and it's going to be a close result in the end. So I think that, you know, the players are encouraged to communicate with the referee and vice versa. And I think, you know, as long as it's done in the right manner, I think it adds to the game. We've had 2 penalties tonight, so, you know, I think it's working well for Richard.
To be fair, I agree. Richard Silverwood is allowing the game to flow.
And maybe we're seeing more of it these days because of the ref cam.
Yeah.
We're just spotlighting it a bit more, perhaps. That's a good tackle by Jordan Turner on Brett Ferris.
He did really well. He's a bigger man, Brett Ferris, and will push players off who are bigger than Jordan Turner, but he wraps his arm round, gets him in a nice tight clinch and controls that collision.
Now here goes Leroy Cudjoe, and that was knocked by Francis Melly. So it's a knock-on, and they'll bring it back for the scrum. Big opportunity tonight for Leroy Cudjoe with Callum Watkins. Well, we still don't know the full extent of his injury, but you would imagine that Callum won't be making the contention for the England squad to face the Exiles, and there is perhaps the ready-made replacement, maybe.
Well, he won't let them down, that's for sure. He's in top form. And it was good work there by Francis Melly, because he just got caught out. He had to make a huge lunge.
The England squad will be announced, by the way, tomorrow. We'll talk to Steve McNamara in boots and all on Wednesday night. And the Exiles squad is going to be named on Wednesday as well, so there's bags for us to talk about on Boots and All this week. But Brough is not part of the England plans, but many say he should be. And Ferguson feeds off the pass from Brough, who opened the St Helens defence then like a can opener. Dale Ferguson with the try. His 100th Super League appearance. 54 for Wakefield, 4 for Hull KR. This is his 42nd for the Giants. And he crowns the ton with a super try that's created by the brilliance of Danny Brough.
Well, there you see Francis Smelly saving a try there, but you can't afford to take dummies like that. Percival just went away. Ferguson, the inside runner. And let's hope that Steve McNamara is watching this guy yet again. He's superb off the boot, but it's not bad when he takes on the defence and asks the question. And boy, oh boy, Ferguson has given the answer. Super play by Danny Brough.
Dale Ferguson's a Scottish international. If Danny Brough doesn't get the nod from England as he converts the try, there is a big suspicion he will put his hand up for the Scots, and so Scotland won't have two bad players there to move into the World Cup. But a while ago I mounted the campaign for Breers for Britain. Should we be doing Brough for England?
It's just important to look at the balance. He's the balance of a tightrope walker when he's just skirting across the defensive line, uses his peripheral vision. Danny Brough, he knows Percival's already engaged, already half thinking about going, and then he just shows that little dummy and goes. Dale Ferguson with some nice pace, just rounding off that form that saw him score 2 tries at Magic Weekend.
We all know that this youngster, Mark Percival, is a very talented player, but the one, shall we say, negative, he does have a problem coming out of the defensive line on a regular basis. Well,
that experience will come, Steve-O. You don't make too many of those mistakes back to back to back, because obviously the media, the commentators, the summarisers highlight it and make sure he doesn't forget it, as well as his teammates and his coaches. He'll learn. He's got a really big future in the game, got that commodity that we all look for, which is pace.
Well, St Helens climbed out of a big hole at Leeds a fortnight ago. It was 16-0 there. It's an even deeper hole they've got to climb out of here, and it could get worse.
Oh, should have passed. He'd sucked in Francis Melly superbly. He had the man outside, and he would have gone away through a big hole.
Yes, Cudjoe couldn't get the ball out to Jermaine McGilvery. So a little chip through by Danny Brough, and more soccer skills from Brough. Bravery from Aidy Gardner.
Was it ever? Talk about putting your body on the line. But again, the skill factor from Danny Brough.
Well, the Giants have the sense on the brink of another defeat here at 18 points to 0. Fully in control, 27 minutes played. Good play, a nice invention by Brough, but a brave effort, as you've said, defensively. And a real test now of the Saints' character. That club's been built on consistent performances over the last decade. Very rarely do they finish outside the top 3 places. In fact, not in the Super League era for the last 10 years. And so here now with Robbie, Wilkin, and the guys who've been there like Wellens before have got to lead the side forward and start to the fight back.
He impresses me, that player, Luke Thompson. I think he's been one of the better performers in the last 6 weeks. A good play for the future.
Now then, it's a high kick here, but very well dealt with by McGilvery.
And a good shout as well from the winger.
Awful play, the ball.
He was saying it's mine as soon as it left the boot.
Whoa. There's some big hits going in here. McGilvery felt that, but he picks himself up and plays the ball on Brough. He goes for a 40-20. And this has got chances. It's bounced the wrong way for him. But the chase isn't bad, although Wellens does really well again.
The tactics kicking early, again on the 3rd tackle. They've got no answer to this St Helens, I'm afraid.
The newly seeded pitch with a little bit of sand around the grass has robbed Danny Brough there of a 40-20. Bounced back on itself.
And we are complimenting the kicking game, but also look at the chase. Everybody knows it's coming. They've obviously been working on it during the practice. They know they're going to go early on 3rd or 4th, and everybody's in the blocks sprinting away.
Marn Patrick is penalised for holding down in the tackle.
Yeah, just a little bit too long.
Walmsley couldn't get to his feet.
Well, St Helens, they've only had 2 real opportunities to apply any sort of attacking pressure. They know that they need to score before half-time. They need something up on that scoreboard just to lift their spirits.
Well, this is their chance. And down goes Paul Clough, and it's a stern face that belongs to Nathan Brown. Roby. Oof. Dear me. Okumatai is on a mission tonight, and Gareth O'Brien has felt his presence twice. Clough gets it away to Wilkin. He finds Jordan Turner, and Turner was almost through, just wrestled to the ground by Wardle. This is the last. Percival with the kick. Oh, a knock on and play on. Free play. They'll bring it back to the original offence.
Well, with the best of interest in the game of rugby league, I don't like this rule, but Danny Brough thought, oh, I hope I can't catch this.
That would have been, that's why that play has been designed, Mike, to encourage sides to attack there, counter-attack and go the length of the field. It's a perfect example of why it could and why it should be in the game, in my opinion.
And then they go 70, 80 metres downfield, and they come back and put the scrum down.
You won't hear the players complaining. They'll get us 5 or 6 seconds rest. But it's worth it when you see exciting play. I'm with Phil. I enjoy that rule.
Well, it's no risk play. If it comes off, it's spectacular. If it doesn't come off, it's untidy, and Steve-O gets on his high horse.
Not just me.
You're the leading voice. You and I suppose Stud's at it as well, is he? Rod Stud on back chat. He doesn't like it, or does he?
Excuse me, I do not speak on behalf of one Rod Stud. He's capable of doing that all on his own.
Back chat Tuesday night. This Tuesday night, Sky Sports 3 HD at 10. Rod, Steve-O and their guests. Francis Melly.
Talking of Rod, I spoke to him. He's actually paid to go into the ground and he's sitting with the spectators. He said he wants to get the feeling.
No, I'll just correct you there. He didn't pay. He had his press pass with him. He's come as a spectator, but he hasn't paid.
He told me he paid.
There he is.
He's probably watching the game now on Sky Go. And he's got his Sky Sports pass around his neck, which tells you a lot. Here's Melly.
Good solid run. Now they need a quick play of the ball. Good link.
Manu gets the ball away, attempted to Wilkin. The referee wipes the tackle count down. There was a Huddersfield hand in that. So it's this free play again, and free play again. That one went backwards. So that's the 0 tackle. And here comes Roby. They've waited 10 weeks to see him back in the St Helens colours. Turner gets it away to Clough. This is the first real test of the Huddersfield defence. Let's see how they go. Here's Luke Thompson.
Boy, that was a great tackle by the fullback Griggs, wasn't it? Ball and all, no chance of offloading.
Roby gets the ball away. O'Brien to Wellens. Okumatai again. O'Brien at dummy half this time. Gives it to Wilkin. He'll score. Will he?
Has he lost it? He wants to have a look. Ian Smith, the video referee tonight. Richard Silverwood, well, he was in a good position. Has he lost this ball?
Well, I think it's all about, is he in possession when the ball goes down? You can see there it's still well in his hand. And as it goes to ground, I think
that's a try.
He's still got possession of that ball.
Yep.
Gee, that's a brave carry, that. He has 3 people in front of him, puts his head down, goes low and hard.
First of the season, and it's given. First of the season for John Wilkin. His first try since he scored in the win at Widnes last July. And his first start in the pack since February.
They needed this. That's good running there. John Wilkin, not known for taking the run like this as though he was a prop forward. But see how he just got himself underneath the would-be defence.
It's a really nice pass from Gareth O'Brien. The weight on it's perfect. The height is at the right level to allow Wilkin to dive under the defenders. Other players passed the ball too hard, make it hard to catch. Wilkin needed to be invited onto that pass, and he was.
Well, Gareth O'Brien is the young man who is going to take this first kick at goal. Months loan from Warrington, arrived Thursday. The 5th scrum half this year. And he adds the extras. It was his pass that created the try in the end. And it's O'Brien's kick that gives St Helens a foothold in this match.
And boy, did they need it. But look how experience can help. They were glum all the time, but soon it turned to joy when this man went over. Well, the try that has dragged them back into a match that was slipping away.
It's very similar to Leeds a fortnight ago. They conceded 16 points then, as I said. Now they've conceded 18. They're back in it, though, with half-time beckoning, 6 minutes away. Another try, and you never know. Walmsley with a carry forward.
Go, 1, 2, move, go, good.
Saints believing there's something here for them now as Thompson takes it forward again. The teenager making his 5th consecutive appearance. Remember his barnstorming late try that sealed the win at Leeds.
Here's a Tyro, isn't he? Just keeps going. Roby gone.
He's gone
nice
for 40-20 there. Scott
Griggs
cuts it out.
Great positioning, Eddie. Really has taken this full-back position, hasn't he, Scott Griggs? Really settled into it.
Well, yes, Greg Eden, pastures new, and Griggs taking the opportunity with both hands this year. He's been ever present so far, and he got a couple of tries against Bradford at the Magic weekend.
That's good refereeing. There was interference by a Saints player, and it was a bit clumsy, but he said get on with it, and that's what we want to see, more and more open play.
Here's Robinson looking busy, gets it away to Akumatai again, and O'Brien this time is the man who brings him down. I think
that's an incorrect play, the ball, isn't it? Yeah, you can't have...
He's got to regain his feet before putting it on the deck.
Yeah.
I think that's right, Stuart.
That's right. He should have lifted the ball clear, and he's using the ball as a lever. I think if he'd got up and done it fairly quickly, he would he'd perhaps have got away with it, but it's been an age for the play of the ball to come away, so in the end Richards had no option but to penalise it.
He's a better player than that. He's had a good opening 35 minutes or so, but yeah, that's a strange one, that. More experienced than that, Akumatai.
Sometimes forwards forget. The rules,
look at me for that.
The rules, that is.
You look at me for?
You know.
Who are you? Where am I? What are we doing here?
There's a number of people asking that.
Another good run as well by Alex Walmsley. He's settled in well, hasn't he, to the Saints camp. Big unit. The Giants have got to be careful here. They really have, because if they concede again, boy, they'll be a little bit disappointed. I'm sure their coach Paul Anderson would, because they, you know, for 3/4 of this first half, they've just controlled it, the Giants.
Here's Turner. He gets it back to Wellens. He gets it wide to Percival, and Percival tried to flick the pass and finds the touchline and not his winger Eddie Gardner. Relief for Paul Anderson, maybe.
Sean, that tackle up there. Don't try to turn me when I said move.
He'd overrun it, hadn't he? Gardner. Perhaps no indication.
And that's that. Sorry, Steve, but that's that instinct that comes between a centre and a winger when they've played a number of games together. Percival only fresh in the Super League. Eddie Gardner got lots of experience. Possibly the other centres that have played with him have said, you hug that touchline, don't come in, where Percival is holding it almost behind his back, asking him to come inside.
18-6. They've been outplayed for much of the first half. Would Nathan Brown be happy to turn around with this scoreline now, the Saints coach?
Yeah, you'd have to say at least that they've had the ability to score a try, Eddie. I mean, for most of this first half, it's just been one-way traffic. Maybe 3 occasions that Saints have had it. At least when you scored a try, having only 3 chances, You've got to give yourself maybe a chance in the second half. And he's got to get the kicking. He knows he's got to get the kicking game changed for the second half.
Well, they call it good ball in the trade. Coaches talk about good ball. When the ball is kicked here, Saints are in yardage. They've spent all game in yardage. They haven't been able to build any pressure. And you're right, the 2 or 3 occasions that they've been down there, they came away with 1 try through John Wilkins. So I think Nathan Brown will be reasonably, I would say, realistic about where his side are in this game.
Oh, and it's a lovely little invented kick from Brough, and it's a try from Murphy. It'll be his second try if it's given. It was an almighty clatter on A.D. Gardner. We have to check the legality of that first, and then we've got to check whether Murphy's onside, and then the grounding. So, Stuart, there's all sorts of boxes that have to be ticked here, but it was a massive hit.
It wasn't. Obviously, that's what the video referee will look at first, and also how the ball ends up to come loose. So I think you can see quite clearly that there's contact with the head on Gardner, so I think the video referee shouldn't need to go any further than that. Even though Gardner's falling, there's still a responsibility on the defender not to make contact with the head.
And the swinging arm won't help. Sometimes it does confuse the issue, but I don't think it has to go any further. I'm with you, Stuart, on this. Murphy will have the try denied.
Yes, they're not even looking at the grounding. Contact with the head. It's a penalty to St Helens, even though Gardner was slipping. He went into the tackle. So initially there wouldn't have been anything dangerous in the tackle, but Murphy's try is chalked off, and A.D. Gardner, I have to tell you, is still flat out on the field and still needs some treatment.
Well, A.D. Gardner takes one heck of a clout there, I will say that, but in the defence of Anthony Mullally, we're watching that in super slow motion, and in the action of falling forward, his head does hit the shoulder of Mullally. I don't think there's any malicious intent in that tackle. We hope that A.D. Gardner gets up from this challenge.
Who's the player, Ian?
The medic's doing the right job.
The try was disallowed, but what about the quick thinking by Danny Brough? The ball came loose, he knew he had a free play, cut the kick through.
I thought you said you didn't like the free play.
I still don't like it.
If you don't like it, you can't say it's good play.
I didn't say it was quick, I said it was quick thinking on behalf of Danny Brough.
The referee has asked Anthony Mullally to come to him.
It's going to be no try. He has made contact with the head.
I think he'll just put this on report, Eddie.
Into the tackle. Okay, he's made contact with the head. It's going to be a penalty. It's going on report. All right.
The incident goes on report. We heard that from Richard Silverwood. But I think the slip and the fact that, as you hear in the background, Richard Silverwood saying he's almost falling into the tackle, that will probably save Mullally. Do you think, Stuart?
Certainly the match review panel, when they look at that, will take that into account, and you know, what they'll look at is the intent of the defender. Was his intent to hit him high? You can see by the way his arm is, there is contact there.
Stuart, he trips, does Gardner. That alters the height of his head. If he doesn't trip, I think that's a ball and all tackle.
That's right, but there is contact with the head, so the penalty's got to be correct. Whether it goes any further will depend on whether the match review panel look at that as intentional contact with the head.
That's only really of secondary concern at the moment, because there's a stretcher on the field here for A.D. Gardner.
Yeah, you can see he gets the arm around it. It's an intended ball and all tackle. It's not what you classify as a shoulder charge.
And it's not high either, but it looks high because Gardner's head is down.
Yeah.
There's some concern all round here for A.D. Gardner.
Yeah, I'm with you, Eddie. The most important thing now is forget about the game. It's that man that's receiving treatment that is important.
Anthony Mullally on your screen. He's formerly with Widnes. He came here on a 3-year deal, and he was a substitute and got a try against the Bulls at the Magic weekend. Irish international, only 21 years of age, still learning the trade, on report. And there's some concern involving Kieran Cunningham and Nathan Brown here for the condition of their winger, A.D. Gardner.
Eddie, you posed the question in regards, would Nathan Brown perhaps be happy at the scoreline? Of course not, in regard, but only 12 points adrift.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah.
When the Giants have been so instrumental in controlling the game, defence has been solid.
There's going to be quite a delay here, I think.
And rightly so. They are doing everything precaution, make sure that he doesn't move.
What an inventive piece of play from Danny Brough to create the opportunity. Of course, it's all academic now because the penalty's been given against Mullally and against the Giants, but just shows how quick thinking he is, Danny Brough. One of the
outcomes of putting the incident on report is that St Helens will now get a free interchange for Adi Gardner, so they'll get the benefit of that as it's being placed on report.
He's been placed on the stretcher, the physio. That's Joey Hayes, isn't it, the St Helens physio, former player himself.
Stuart, in regards to the interchange, are you happy the way that Super League handles it now? Would you like to see anything changed in that? You know, if a player is replaced, then should he finish for the rest of the game?
Oh, I have to go back a long way to think about that one. I'm quite happy with the way it goes. Certainly from the referee's point of view on the field, they don't notice the interchange coming and going, so it's fairly free and flows. So I think it's about right now. We reduced it from 12 interchange down to 10, which gives some fatigue towards the end of the game. There was some talk of it going from 10 to 8, but I think they've realised that 10's about right. So I think it works quite well.
You don't think that perhaps we should bring in something like similar to football, where you could have, say, 10 substitutes and you're only allowed 4, but once they come off the field of play, that's it, the game is finished?
I like it the way we have it, where there's 4 that are more than likely going to get a game, and we're going to see them at some point. I also don't think our interchange areas could cope with all that many people.
Well, as you can see, everybody, coaches, spectators, players, referees, officials, all being very patient, and rightly so.
I mentioned a few weeks ago, Eddie, when we had St Helens against Leeds, you know, you're talking about the toughness of Adi Gardner. I think I actually mentioned, you know, this guy, he must practice just running through brick walls. I mean, he gives 100%, doesn't he?
He certainly does. And arrived here today needing just 1 try for 200 in his career, and he scored tries here in the last 2 years as well. So a little milestone beckoning him before tonight, but it's debatable right now whether he will return.
We all hope that Adi Gardner's okay, but I think that Nathan Brown may well be having a discussion with Kieran Cunningham. How do I shape my side? Who do I put on the wing? Who do I move a little bit wider? Because as I mentioned before, their bench was James Roby, who's a hooker, Clough, Walmsley and Thompson, all forwards.
Yes, it's a blow this for Saints, there's no doubt about it, and more importantly, it's a blow for Adi Gardner. Let's keep our fingers crossed that everything is okay. Sympathy from the Huddersfield crowd and the coach. Paul Anderson, the Huddersfield Giants' current coach, former teammate, of course, of Adi Gardner in his days at St Helens. So after that lengthy and understandable delay, St Helens restart with the penalty. A minute and a half to the break. 18-6 Huddersfield lead, and Saints look like immediately they've pushed Mark Percival out to the wing, and Lance O'Hire is operating in the centre.
Oh, has lost it. And that is a big error. They needed. I was just about to say that, you know, after such a long time with all the players are just standing around, you know, it's a mental lack of concentration. Sometimes you can miss a tackle, you don't put yourself in the right position, but that won't help Saints losing possession.
And it would be a cruel blow for them if Huddersfield score in the last minute of the first half. That's what they're threatening here. They've got Ferris underneath all of that. Sean Lunt is waiting. Here comes Lance Patrick.
Interesting to see that Wellens has gone very deep. He knows the capabilities of Danny Brough, but he's decided to swing it out on that right-hand side.
Oh, Kumatai has dropped it now. And St Helens are racing to the scrum. They want to have a crack at them here for the last half minute.
Time off.
Well, I think you might see Gareth O'Brien knock that away from the big fella.
It's quite a contest, and it's not really a fair contest weight-wise between O'Brien and Okumatai, but they're all running, as I say. That was the scene that happened a few moments ago, all running to the scrum to force Richard Silverwood to call time off, which he does with 26 seconds remaining.
It was smart work by Gareth O'Brien. He just clipped the ball with his finger away from the big fella.
Wilkin gets the ball away, and that was O'Brien again, and he fed Manu. Great offload from him. That looked forward, and it was pass from Josh Jones out wide. The whistle has gone. Francis Melly and co will have to come back. There's the half-time siren. They will take a breather and come back again for the second half.